Hey, this is Lovecraft and Art. We're going to be watching some creepy TikToks tonight. So if you've been looking for a thrill, look no further because we're going to jump right in.
Spookiest facts that will keep you up at night. There's over 100 known serial killers that haven't been caught. The world's largest pyramid is not in Egypt, but in Mexico. 12% of people dream without any colour imagery. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap.
People always have this conspiracy. Now that I'm famous, and people be saying like, "Oh, you're in the Illuminati." Look,
you saw your videos, right? You have videos online, like Cardi B.
And it's like, bro, do you know that if I don't work, I could go broke? Do you know if I do or say the wrong thing out of my mouth,
you're out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Doja Cat, the newest member of the Illuminati. A lot of really suspicious things about her 27th birthday party. This makes people believe that it was a ritual induction meeting with the Illuminati and Doja Cat that was hidden in plain sight. The party was themed after this movie called Eyes Wide Shut about an elitist secret society. This society was also a sex cult. They would sacrifice people to the devil. There's a character in the movie that Doja Cat is dressed like that gets sacrificed and killed by the group. I gotta say, they killed the theme. Look at the symbolism on the cake. Yes, Doja Cat turned 27, but this also could have been a nod to the 27th Club, and it has the Freemason symbol on it. Her birthday party is just the beginning. Part 2's already up, and follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more content. Really helps when you interact.
Let's read some Glitch in the Matrix stories, part 133. The glitch that caused our ER doctor to quit. Hi, my name is Anne, and this is the story of how our glitch led to our ER doctor quitting his job and having a huge mental crisis. I'm intrigued. This happened almost 10 years ago. I was new to a small hospital system and was in the break room when I overheard a few nurses talking about an ER doctor I hadn't met yet. We'll call him Dr. X. He had been at the hospital for a long time and would have treated more trauma and critical patients that I could count. I had heard his name in passing, but still hadn't met him, which was odd given how small that department was. It caught my interest when the nurse in the break room asked how he was doing and if he was going to come back. I went up to them and said, I haven't met X before. Is there a reason why he isn't here anymore? Is he on leave or something? They both paused and one of them cryptically told me that he had to take an emergency leave of absence. Not wanting to pry. How do you not want to pry? I always want to pry. I literally always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Just ask nicely. Not wanting to pry, I said something along the lines of, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But what the nurse said next took my breath away. A few days before, he had been on his break trying to eat between patients when his pager went off. There had been a very serious trauma and he was needed to try to save this patient. As he's rushing up the stairs, a woman stops him. She looks at him and says, how do I get out? In a rush, he quickly gives her directions to go down the stairs and make a left, etc., and then turns around and races back to the ER. When he gets to the patient's room, he can already hear the patient's heartbeat monitor flatlining and the sound of the paddles as they try to get them resuscitated. He walks into the room and stops dead in his tracks. The patient is dead, and it's the same woman that stopped him on the stairs and asked him how to get out. He was not a religious or spiritual man and never believed in any sort of afterlife or supernatural. The experience rocked him to his core and caused a serious mental breakdown. I'm not sure if he ever went back to medicine after that experience. To this day, I think about her asking him how to get out. I think about how benign that originally seemed and then how heavy the actual meaning of it turned out to be. I'm sorry that this really fucked this doctor up, but what a good story and how cool. She just needed help getting out. I love hospital stories.
Wow. Ay, grabe. Grabe ang lakas.
Yo, here's the other video I told you about them lasers in Hawaii. Check it out.
The cameras at this bird sanctuary captured a bright flash. Staff believe it's a tree falling on a power line. Shortly afterwards, flames can be seen in the forest. Ross Hart saw something similar before his home burnt down.
We could hear some trees falling here and there in the distance, and one big one fell here on the bridge, and it knocked over the power.
This former child star exposes the truth about Disney and Hollywood.
Dark world we're in, I've noticed a pattern in what is being represented. People think that this stuff is just a game. There is a reason why you see people dressed up as Satan. Not just, like Satan slipping himself in a little bit. No, full on visuals of Satan, people dressed as Satan, dressed as a demon, got upside down crosses all on their clothes or pentagrams on their clothes. And people are just like, oh, that's funny. It's, we're making fun. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all. They know good and doggone well that God exists. They also know that Satan exists. They're just counting on the fact that y'all don't know that. But either way, the things that you take in, that they're feeding you, those things affect you. Whether you realize it in the moment or not, they affect you. That's why they do it. Entertainment industry, it's about influence. I'm not going to sacrifice the honesty in order to be politically.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
Here is another example of an old Tartarian building with the ability to harness energy from the ether and produce free electricity for the people. Now at the top, you are going to see the antenna, which is shaped like the moon, which I find very interesting. And then you're going to see these balls, and these balls are actually filled with mercury. When mercury spins, it creates a current. And here's a great example of this. And if you take mercury in a flask and spin it over a voltage meter, it'll actually produce current. If you analyze all old buildings, you'll see this technology. All of these buildings were designed to harness energy from the ether. The antennas harness the electromagnetic energy from the ether that is then sent to the mercury. The mercury spins and creates the current. This is why when you research Tartaria and free energy technology, they never used wires. Here's another great example of this. You don't see wires. Cathedrals all over the world produced free energy. That's why the word cathode is in it. Cathode is a type of electrode. This is why the windows on all these cathedrals represented cymatic patterns, because they were sound healing centers that generated free electricity. This is the cymatic pattern of a cathedral bell. As you can see, it matches this pattern in this window. Literally all windows in these cathedrals represent certain cymatic pattern. These cathedrals were designed for people to lay down and experience sound healing. They were designed to pitch sound at some of the best frequencies. This truth has certainly been hidden from us, but we are at a point where humanity is waking up and we are going to take back our power. Peace and love.
The Simpsons predictions, or should we say plans for 2023, are downright chilling? In an episode from 1998, the show hinted at an economic crisis, nuclear war, and the death of the leader of the United States, all happening in the same year. The episode in question, titled Bart to the Future, shows a glimpse into the future where Lisa Simpson has become the President of the United States. In a conversation with her staff, Lisa mentions the previous administration headed by President Biden left behind a budget crunch and quite a bit of a mess. Later in the episode, a news broadcast reports on a nuclear skirmish with an unspecified country leading to mass destruction and chaos. While the idea of a nuclear war and economic crisis is frightening enough, of course, we can only hope that these predictions from The Simpsons do not come true. But it's hard to ignore the show's track record of foreseeing major events, making us wonder what else they might have predicted for the future. To unlock secrets of humanity,